Music. How about
Hello.
I mean, that's
It's so dark and ominous.
It's different music.
It's ethereal. I will see that Billy does that.
Every so often.
That's his thing. He does that, and he likes to play that, and he varies up a thing.
Because we're going to be releasing in a new month, so new music.
Absolutely.
Voice it out. What is it?
It's very ethereal, very ominous. Anyway, it is.
Very supernatural.
By the way, we're recording a podcast. What a surprise!
Is it very supernatural?
Hi, kind of a little bit. Hi, gang.
There's the
This
beat.
is Chris.
I know.
There it is. This is Chris. This is
That was our
WFC3,
hint for
and this
today.
is your weekly dose of monkey business. And as you can tell, we're already off and running in different
just
directions. With me, as always, is the entire gang. The studio is like overflowing with personality right now, except for you, Rob. Never mind. And but
He's
Billy
the one
and
that's
Tanya are
full
here.
of personality.
Yes. My bouncing baby boy Ian is hanging out in the studio with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. And our hello Dolly. Our lovely producer Sherry and Chris is here. And we have a special guest today. History professor extraordinary at University Prep Charter School. I always just call it UPrep.
Yeah, it's University Preparatory Charter School for Young Men.
There it is. See, that's the full
That's
title.
a mouthful.
Right?
My
That's
son
why we
is a
just stick
freshman
with
there,
UPrep, or
and
the
the gentleman
U.
speaking is history professor Pat Best. Hey, Pat, welcome to the studio today to hang out with us. Freaking power nerds.
Right? I want to say professor.
Professor. I'm saying professor.
Oh, there it is.
I found it.
We
have
found
an
the
applause
applause track.
track.
Yay.
I found the crowd.
Yes.
Not,
And that's-
to add to the current crowd.
that recording is all the people who listen to Monkey Business on a regular basis. We got them all in the same room, all four of them, and they just
One of them's Zach's dad.
And yes, hi Zach's dad, and our buddy
Danny?
Danny in the UK. How's our buddy Danny in the UK doing?
Danny's fabulous.
Hey Danny, good to hear from you, brother.
Hi, Danny.
He's going to have to call in.
He wants to. He actually
what time is it there?
approached me
It's
the
only
other
6 months.
day
It's 6
while
hours ahead.
listening, and he
Okay.
said, I need to come on the show. I really want to meet you guys.
Well, you know what? Next session.
Okay.
All right, next session.
He's a big Star Wars fan, so
There
if
we
you
go.
have anything Star Wars,
We'll have him.
Danny
we'll
will
have him call
definitely
in
be on it.
for a recording, and that'll be fun. And then we can talk to our buddy Danny in the UK, and we will officially be an international podcast.
Whoa.
Look at me, yeah, oh yeah.
Our whole one listener across the pond.
Hey, we have fans in Piedmont, Italy.
And
Two across the
We're
pond.
huge in Egypt. That's I don't know how that
I don't
happened.
know how that
We're big in
happened either.
Sheboygan.
Unfortunately,
Sheboygan.
Egypt,
Very
New
big in
York.
Sheboygan.
But
Where Lollipop Farm is. Those cute little kittens.
So
What
hey,
are we doing today?
we've got a couple of things in mind, but we're going to go to the announcements real quick. Get again a big shout out to our sponsors, Knox, and for what's the full title, Tanya?
Knox Comfort Food and Craft Cocktails.
See, I love them. And the Village Gate Mall, a perennial sponsor. These guys have been with us since the beginning. We talked about them last week. We're going to keep talking about them from time to time.
And
they
their
have
sister
been
station.
at our sister station, W.
No, and their
3CF?
sister station.
Oh, and their sister restaurant,
Yeah,
Selena's.
Selena's.
Yes, the best Mexican food in the Village Gate Mall. And
They have great walk.
Why does it sound like damning with
Really
faint
narrow that
praise?
that's what we call a backhanded compliment. No, I love it's really actually well known in the city. It's a great place.
I love Selena's.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we've spent a lot of money in Selena's over the years. Food flavored food. And so big shout out to them. A huge
awesome.
shout out to our guest. We had a big announcement recently. We
did?
We announced our first guest for FC3 2018. The young and talented Caitlin Blackwood.
Yay.
Famous for her reoccurring role in Doctor Who, is playing the young Amy Pond. Because there's
The
on
11th Doctor.
with the 11th Doctor, she was the first face that face
She's
ever
the little
saw.
girl sitting there waiting.
on the
Yes, the
suitcase.
girl,
yeah.
the
waited.
girl who waited.
The girl who waited,
The fish
the girl who
And
fed
she
him the
is
fish
not
sticks
Amy
and custard.
Pond. She is
Amelia
Pond.
Pond. Absolutely. And so we're looking forward to sharing that experience with you and
fish
getting a
sticks and
chance.
custard just does not seem to go
I'm so
together.
doing it at the convention, though.
No.
You need to understand that it's going to happen.
It was just his birthday
Had it.
the other day.
It was just
by
his
the way.
birthday.
Yeah, seriously.
Matt Smith
Not that
just
bad.
turned,
It's
what,
not that
35?
bad. Yeah, Matt's, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so Matt Smith himself, not coming to the show, but would love it if it happened. So yeah, that's a big
We
thing.
could get a cardboard cutout.
And Amelia Pond, otherwise known as Caitlin Blackwood, will be at FC3, courtesy of our favorite people, Wibbly Wobbly, Timey Wimey. Heather and the gang, bringing all sorts of great props and Doctor Who experience to the convention, and they have really stepped up to help us bring Caitlin in to present her to you, our fans and family and staff and gang at the Flower City Comic-Con. So we're really excited about that, and we've got a couple of other guest announcements in the wings if we haven't really announced them already by the time this recording is broadcast, but we'll hang on to those for a little bit. We're working on that. Lots of great stuff to come to you. And now everybody has heard of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. That's been all the rage for a long time now, where we can link different actors to Kevin Bacon because Kevin was in so many different movies and projects over the years, and he's still prolific. He's still acting. He's still out there in various projects. But on the nerd world level of things, we have a bigger secret weapon than that. Kevin Bacon needs to take a back seat to none other than the man we are going to talk about in this particular podcast today, and that would be Mark Sheppard. Now, if you're not familiar with Mark Sheppard because you're not familiar with his name, do a quick check. And he's that kind of guy that as soon as his face pops up on Google,
like, "Ah,
you're gonna be
that
like,
guy."
"Oh, him."
He's my favorite. Oh, it's that guy.
Exactly. He is. And he's in everything. If there is a
And
nerd credit, he's in it.
We actually connected him back to Kevin Bacon earlier today.
Which creates this whole cosmic kind of
that
cavalcade of stars.
we
It's amazing.
connected him back to Kevin
so
Bacon.
if you can connect Mark Sheppard and Kevin Bacon, you can pretty much touch everybody in the actually everybody on the planet at that point, because you will have met somebody who knows somebody. But it's wild.
Touching Mark Sheppard. Oh, never mind.
Sherry's daydreaming. Sherry's daydreaming.
Jared
What are
Padalecki
you
that
going to
you
do
want to
when
touch.
he listens
Hey.
to this podcast?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh
He's
my
probably
God,
gonna be laughing.
fangirl.
Now, Mark Anderson Sheppard, born May 30th, 1964, in London, England, an actor, a director, a producer, best known for Crowley on Supernatural, the shady lawyer, I can't remember his name, but Battlestar Galactica. He's been
Hold
on
on, let me-
Firefly. He's been in Leverage. He's been in Doctor Who. Just scroll down a little bit on the filmography real
on the
quick.
film- hold on.
There's 190 different credits at this point. Professional radio at your disposal. 62 credits.
Really?
Okay.
Well, he didn't start
But still.
acting until he was 27.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before that, he was a musician.
Oh, and was he in a particular band or?
He was a studio musician for quite a while.
Then he heard musicians died at the age of 27 and decided to start acting.
So his musician career died at 27, and then he became an actor?
And then
Yeah.
he became an actor.
Wow,
so
that's
he didn't want to
poetic.
go the way of Jim Morrison.
Let me see. I do have
Romo Lampkin was the name
Yes.
of
That was it. The guy in
he's
Battlestar
a
Galactica.
drummer, and he played in bands like Robin Hitchcock,
Mm-hmm.
the television personalities, and he played drums on Light a Big Fire's second album. And then he was a session musician.
Okay.
And recorded a lot of albums. He started that at the age of 15.
Wow. All right. And a recently naturalized American citizen.
Yes.
So now he's one of us. And when in an era where everybody's jumping ship, he's coming on board. So it's all good. We need more people like him, I think. And he's on the list of underappreciated actors. Is that what I'm seeing here? I see Alan Tudyk's face on that, and that's another podcast.
Oh, I don't know.
entirely.
I don't even know what that is. That's just another
Okay.
IMDb user list.
I gotcha.
Don't get me started on Alan Tudyk.
Oh, it's just
You leave
bad.
Steve the Pirate out of this.
There you go.
Steve the
Our
Pirate.
from Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Yep.
So Mark Sheppard, what's his earliest credit? Mark Sheppard. How far back does this career?
Well, age
actually
27.
go?
Silk stockings.
Silk stockings, really?
But not
Yes.
that. I think it's stockings, like
Stockings.
stalking after someone, not
Yes.
the...
Not
not
the
these
stockings
Yes, I
that you
remember
wear.
that.
Used to be on after wrestling on Monday nights, I believe,
Right, I remember that show.
on USA Network.
And X-Files. Oh, so he was in X-Files. He was in Mantis. Soldier of Fortune. Interesting. Sliders. Okay. Scrolling back up through the list. Star Trek Voyager. I remember that episode. I didn't really watch much of Voyager, but I remember that episode.
I'll have to go back and watch it. Jag. I have to go back now and watch Jag to just find Mark Sheppard in it.
Jag was the precursor to NCIS, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Yeah. One led to the other?
Yep.
All right.
He's gonna make his own book now. Instead of Where's Walter, there's Where's Mark Sheppard.
There you go. That's it. So,
of course, Firefly,
as Badger.
Megalodon.
That was a thing.
Was that a sci-fi thing like
It's a
Sharknado?
video.
Is that a Sharknado kind of a knockoff?
Sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it was a sci-fi
It's
movie.
sad,
direct
it's sad to
release.
call anything a Sharknado knockoff.
Well, that even.
I think it's
if
older
I
than
remember,
Shark-
it predated
It's
older.
older. Predated Sharknado?
It's
Okay.
about the giant shark.
and it,
Oh my
it predated
gosh.
that horrible Shark Week special about the megalodon in
Okay.
South Africa.
Okay.
Ooh, he was on Sliders. I used to love that show.
Yeah, Sliders was a good show. We should probably talk about Sliders someday down the road.
Yes.
That was an interesting
I would
concept.
have fun doing an episode.
We
Not a
have
book club
a
of
We
that
connect
one.
him to
already.
Kiefer Sutherland in 24.
In 24, and then from Keith Sutherland, you can go in many different directions. Bionic Woman, all right, I see that. And CIS.
I don't think I'm there yet. Or no, I must have missed him.
Yeah, you must have passed that one.
Yeah,
up. Keep
because
going.
I'm up to date.
Battlestar Galactica, Dollhouse, which is another great Joss Whedon series that died before its time.
We've just started.
Ooh,
We've been
watching it
rewatching
again.
it again.
Have you been watching it
Yeah.
again? I have not really got into it in the first place. I got to sit down and actually take some time to watch Dollhouse.
Yes.
Yes, Pat, we
spoilers.
did a whole thing about Firefly in the early days of this podcast, and then about halfway through the podcast, we got canceled by Fox. It was, yeah.
Nice.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Apparently, just talking about Joss Whedon gets you noticed by Fox. And then Doctor Who, and it was great in his cameo, his role in Doctor Who during that whole what was it, the Day of the Moon and the Impossible Astronaut sequence there. The guy who played the older version of his character
dad.
was his father.
You know, that's
was also-
one of 3 times that they played the same character at different ages.
Really?
Yes.
What do you know the other two?
The other
you have it
two,
written down
I
she's a
do.
good producer.
I do.
One where River actually kills
NCIS
him.
and a movie called Mysterious Island.
Really? So the two of them had fun getting a chance to have
Yeah.
that father-son moment, which seems to be a theme in our recordings today, having those
Yes.
father-son moments. My bouncing
Let
baby
us
boy
not
being.
forget his appearances in something we talked about before, Warehouse 13.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Yeah,
One of
as
the
one of the
Benedicts.
regents.
One of the regents.
One of the regents.
Benedict Valda.
Valdez.
So
Apparently,
and
he's
then
on Murder, She Wrote, too.
Yes.
Wow.
One episode.
One
of
episode.
Murder, She Wrote.
Was he the
That
dead
ties him
guy?
into the Disney universe now.
The Celtic Riddle. It was a TV movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's a man in the car.
He was the man in the car.
It was uncredited.
That's what it said.
Man in the
Man in
car,
the car.
scenes deleted.
Scenes deleted.
My favorite theory about Murder, She Wrote is that Angela Lansbury was actually a serial killer in that show. Because why else would Cabot's Cove have so many mysterious deaths?
Seriously,
That
there was
she
a
would
lot of
show
people
up,
dropping
yeah.
in New England all of a sudden.
She's setting him up. I believe that. My
and she
mom
was
loves that show, so I've seen
involved
it
in all of them.
everything.
Hey, while we're still on the subject of him being in Doctor Who, we're not too far away. Do you want my favorite piece of trivia?
Sure.
Okay. He is the only actor to have appeared both in Supernatural and Doctor Who.
Okay.
And what's interesting is Supernatural, which is a very American show,
Uh-huh.
he plays British.
Okay.
But in Doctor Who, which is a
Here we
very
go.
British show,
I know where he plays
American.
I found that hilarious when it came on. I'm like, why is he talking like that? That's not right. No, Crowley, no.
Is Crowley
Getting right into the microphone.
is
It's even more
Crowley British or Scottish?
That's still British.
Fergus.
It's not English, but it is
Yeah,
British.
you can't call Crowley English. He'd probably smite you for that.
Yes.
But,
because it's on the island of Great Britain,
Exactly.
but not the country of England. Okay.
yes.
Yes, British is all of those little countries.
Ah, I see.
And then he
Well,
had the
I'm part
reoccurring role
British.
on Leverage.
Love Leverage.
He was so good.
You've
on
got to go
Leverage.
back and
He was
actually
so
watch
good
the
on
episodes
Leverage.
with Mark Sheppard on Leverage.
Oh, I've seen quite a few of them. Okay.
I didn't think that
Because
would
Juliana
work.
she's been binging Leverage, and she's amused by the fact. Well, she's upset by the fact that Netflix is dumping Leverage in November, and so she's trying to get as much of it in as she can, not realizing that her birthday, as we're recording this, her birthday's in a week, and I've already got the complete series on order for her.
What a good dad.
So she can always have her dose of Leverage when she needs it. I can say
That's always a good
mine's
thing.
in June.
yours is in June.
She needs Supernatural.
December 1st.
I'm not Supernatural. I need
Coming
Leverage.
up.
You need Leverage.
What's that?
As long as we're throwing birthdays out there.
I'm-
December
I-
1st, so it's around
I'm
the
not
corner.
buying Leverage for everybody. You know that? I'm not buying the
Birthday
complete
buddies.
series of
Arnold
Leverage for
Scotch.
everybody.
We have the same
You like Scotch?
birthday.
True story.
True story?
We have the same birthday.
Who? You two?
Yeah,
Same birthday?
December 1st.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It's a great day to be born, if you ask me.
I've always been fond of September 2nd myself, but that's another story entirely. And then,
Let's
of course,
throw out March 8th.
and then, of course, the thing that, yeah. Here you go. Keep throwing them out there.
August 15th?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Leo. February 30th.
Hey,
There
There they are. There's the looks.
Actually, I had someone come into my office. She was pregnant. We're like, well, when's the baby due? February 30th. No.
No, honey.
No,
No,
honey.
honey. No, honey. I was at a a meet and greet, and the guy kept shaking people's hands, and he's like, "Yeah, my birthday is Augenberry the 5th." Augenberry the 5th, and we're looking at him like, "Okay, okay, great, moving on."
Okay, moving on.
That story.
Yeah, well, no, it's just, I just remember my confusion for a moment there.
Okay, now back to Mark Sheppard.
Thank you.
Billy.
You were talking about
Pat, this is normal business for us.
you were talking about his dialects, and
not
in
been paying
24 he
attention?
played Russian.
Yes.
So what is his? I know the name. I've seen his face. I'm a huge 24 fan, so I'm
He's
familiar
English.
with him. He's English. Okay.
He is an Englishman, yeah.
Okay. I was hoping you were going to say he
British.
was like Spanish or
No,
something.
no,
Okay.
and his natural accent is Cockney.
Cockney.
Okay.
From Antarctica.
Well, he was an excellent
Antarctica.
Russian.
So, what is it about this guy that he's managed to base? I mean, I understand he's like a jobbing actor, right? But he's managed to craft kind of a really big niche for himself. And so, what is it? Is he that good? I mean, do we really?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
it? Well, is it the point now that he's so recognizable that he's popular, or is there a certain level of skill that we want to talk about?
Or is he the Meryl Streep of nerd culture?
Yeah, there you go. The Meryl Streep of nerd culture.
That's a good one.
Thank you, everybody. This has been Monkey Business for this week. Have a nice day.
Okay. I have a quote here from him.
Fire.
About what he thinks, because he does do a lot of one-offs. He'll come on a series and it says, "It's a fascinating job to come in and be the most interesting person in an episode. Whoever the guest star is, that's the job. To maintain the interest and the focus for that 42 minutes or whatever. It should be a huge relief to the people that are leads in the show."
Gotcha. So being the guest star, you have a certain level of weight on the shoulders. And
So is the guest, Pat, any pressure?
you can start talking about World War II, but when we'll have to cut you short.
Yeah, please do. Just cut it away. Make you more pissed off.
We got up to December
No, you don't.
6, 1941,
That's it.
and then we had to end.
You're still the best teacher here.
Oh, there was a throw. Oh,
Burn.
Tanya's going to go kill Rob now. Rob, run.
Can I take your son out at the knees?
Oh, please feel free. Please feel
Rob,
free.
you're so lucky I can't get over there.
Well, who can we connect
He's the
to
best
Mark
history
Sheppard?
teacher.
All right, so we're going to play 6 Degrees of Mark Sheppard
Yeah.
here?
Oh,
All right.
what about like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
So Mark Sheppard to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Or Arnold Schwarzenegger to Mark Sheppard?
Either way.
Let's see.
Thinking.
Very easy.
Well,
very,
Mark
very
Sheppard
easy.
Go for it,
currently
Sherry.
lives in Los Angeles.
No, I'm talking through like a Kevin Bacon kind of a game.
Okay.
No, we're going to connect them
Do
Okay.
it.
physically.
Okay. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the Terminator.
There's some fan fiction there, I think. Anyway, slash fiction. Anyway,
Was in the Terminator
Okay.
with what's her name?
name the part.
Linda
Linda Hamilton?
Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton.
Okay.
I
And
lost
that
it.
was the end of Linda Hamilton's career.
We
I
might have.
have
I lost it.
You were there.
No, I had it, and then it was just gone.
I think I have it. Arnold Schwarzenegger made a cameo in Terminator Salvation. Matt Smith was in Terminator Salvation.
There we go.
Okay,
that's
there
Rob
you
Wicker.
go.
Rob
That's much
takes
quicker.
it.
And if you want to go farther from that, I mean, not in terms of Arnold, but in Megalodon, John Barrowman was in Megalodon.
Okay.
Oh.
And
You
John
can go to
Barrowman was in
Legends of
Doctor Who,
Tomorrow.
and Mark Sheppard was in Doctor Who. So there we go. Boom.
They were
How
in the same
about?
episode.
But they weren't in the same episode. Does
Yeah,
that
but John
count?
Barrowman with,
No,
with
see,
Matt
just
Smith,
see if we can
so
try
Matt
to land the
Smith was in
episodes.
the same episode.
See if we can land
as-
episodes
there
at
you
this
go.
point. Let's see here. Okay, Fred Astaire and Mark Sheppard.
Let's see, Fred Astaire.
Come on.
Fred Astaire.
Well, that actually might be easy because there's the Disney connection for Mark Sheppard.
Oh, Zach's working on it.
So,
Let's see.
got to run with the Angela Lansbury. Can't remember who else was a voice in that movie though. In Beauty and the Beast.
Jerry
Jerry
Orbach.
Orbach comes to mind.
Well, I mean, if he was Angela Lansbury then he was in Murder, She Wrote.
Well, right. That's where the tie is because now we have to go work back from her to get to Fred Astaire, and I think that would be a lot easier since they were.
Oh,
Well,
that's
it's
easy.
Yeah.
That's easy. To work back from Angela Lansbury to Fred Astaire, that's
Yeah.
easy. Because Angela Lansbury was in The Courtchester with Danny Kaye. Danny Kaye was in White Christmas with Bing Crosby.
Right.
And Bing Crosby was in his Holiday Inn with Fred Astaire.
There you
Okay.
go.
Boom.
And
And
she
Sherry
was in
did it
Murder, She
again.
Wrote with Mark Sheppard.
With
So-
Mark there, so there we have it. Da-da-da.
And that's how we do that.
Well, we just mentioned 3 of my absolute favorite old movies.
See, there we are. So
I don't think I can play this game very well.
Fred Astaire starred in the movie Silk Stockings, whereas Mark Sheppard was in Silk Stockings.
That's like
So they both had silk in the name, therefore.
That's like Abraham Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy, and Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln. And
Not true.
Not true. I know, but still, it doesn't.
They both wore socks.
Therefore,
Actually, that's not true because Lincoln had German ancestry. He was more of a sandals man.
They're both presidents.
and they both fought in World War II, right, Mr. Best?
Please, it was Korea.
Real quick.
about
This was like Jimmy Kimmel has this thing at the end where he always says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Matt Damon, we ran out of time." This was basically, this is how I liken it. Mr. Best kept trying to get to World War II discussions while my son had him as a teacher, but it never quite worked out. So they never really had and Ian was upset because he really wanted to study World War II.
Because he wanted to know who won.
Yeah, well, it's a question that a lot of people wonder sometimes because especially in this day and age. But it was so I liken the whole Ian's need to hear about World War II as to Jimmy Kimmel telling that he's ran out of time for Matt Damon. Yeah. And it's all Pat Best's fault.
Yeah.
So,
So you're to blame for Matt Damon.
Yes.
All right.
I'll see you outside.
No, basically it was what he was saying is like every day was trying to get it towards every lesson was tying it to basically like the 6 degrees of World War II. Like this is going to make sense once we get to World War II.
And you never got to World War II.
He's amping it up so much, and I'm like, yeah, we'll get it. Like we're getting there. I'm like, we're going to get there.
And then the school year was over.
Yeah, there was like 2 weeks left, and we just got like done with what happened with like the Holocaust, and we're like, okay, we're going to start talking about the war. And I was like, oh, I have 2 weeks, and if we're going to be real, no one does anything the actual last week of school. So I just was like, World War II happened here. It's atomic bombs. And then we just did some of the atomic bombs.
He came home.
Ian, I'm so sorry. No wonder you kept calling me to find out what happened with World War II.
It blew my mind how fast he stopped.
Yeah.
He came home from school that day, and he was enraged. It was that kind of funny. I had to laugh because it was just, but that was not that kind of rage that you want to go, oh, I'm sorry, buddy, it's okay. No, I was like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Do you know there's a thing called Google?
You know, it's just,
All right,
Or encyclopedias.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
back to the game.
Books?
Okay.
Here, I got it. I've got it now.
This game.
Ready, guys?
Okay.
Paris Hilton and Mark Sheppard.
Okay. Paris
Supernatural.
Oh.
Well, never mind.
well,
I knew it was a gimme puppet. I wanted to see who was paying attention.
Nice.
I still can't play this game.
They're
I'm
both
just-
human beings.
1 degree.
No,
right
Paris
there.
Hilton had a cameo in a Supernatural episode.
I'm just glad the connection wasn't One Night in Paris.
There it is.
One night with
I feel
Paris?
like everybody was definitely
no.
thinking it, though.
Actually, I was going the House of Wax route.
So come on, to give her due, I've seen 2 movies that she was actually decent in.
Really?
House of Wax was
and
died 10
House
minutes
of
into
Wax, which also had Jared Padalecki.
Woohoo!
That's where I was going to start going.
Yeah.
And Repo, the Genetic Opera, she was actually quite good in.
Now, wasn't
Now,
Snooki
is it that we have
in
set the bar so
Supernatural?
low that the fact that she actually knew her lines, which she was a good
No,
actress?
No,
no,
actually,
she was
she's
actually
quite-
very
she was-
natural,
she was
and
good.
she's got a pretty good voice.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
really.
I'm still used to that whininess.
So,
It worked for the characters. that
Repo
she
the
was
Genetic
playing.
Opera.
Fantastic movie, though.
Oh, you need to check this
It's
out.
a great- it's
I've
fun.
heard of it.
It's
What are you asking?
the main act, Giles from Buffy.
Oh, Anthony Stewart Head.
Anthony
Anthony
Head.
Stewart Head is
Yeah.
the main person, and Paul Sorvino's in it,
Mm-hmm.
and Ogre from Skinny Puppy.
And the what's her face? Phantom of the Opera. Hello.
Oh yes,
Emmy Rossum?
Sarah
Brightman.
Sarah Brightman.
Okay.
And the girl from
Right
Spy
into the mic.
Kids.
Spy Kids.
The actress
Alexa
from-
Vega.
Alexa
Yes.
Vega. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, I know a few things.
Yeah, well, going with the Sarah, let's see, maybe Sarah Michelle Gellar, too.
Sarah Michelle Gellar to Mark Sheppard.
Sheppard?
Wasn't he in Buffy?
No.
No, he was not in Buffy? Wow.
But who
Good
else was in
charm.
Buffy?
Everybody. Well, Anthony Stewart Head was in Buffy.
Yeah, you can do it through Charmed.
Can do it through
Everybody
Charmed.
was in Charmed, and he was in Charmed.
Charmed.
Okay.
Yep. And
I was also thinking Anthony Stewart Head was in an episode of Doctor Who. You know, early on, and I
Yes.
still hold out hope that one of these days he'll play the Doctor. I still have this whole thing about Giles as the Doctor. You know, it's somewhere down the road, I think it would be an excellent casting.
Although I
Only
think
if he's allowed to sing.
in drag.
In drag.
Great.
I have completely and utterly just broken our daughter's mind.
How'd you do that?
I occasionally send her pictures of Tony Head dressed up as Frankenfurter.
Nice.
It makes her cringe every time.
Oh, see, that's the thing is you can find just about anybody in some sort of
Well,
drag.
he was in the show.
I know. I remember it. I remember it.
How about I'm staring at him, Mr. T?
Mr. T?
Staring at me.
The Mr. T bobblehead is staring at Belly. Mr. T.
Star Trek.
To Mark Sheppard.
Star Trek.
Well, I was going to go the wrestling one, but
Well, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Murdoch. What was his?
Dwight Schultz.
Dwight Schultz.
Okay.
Was in Voyager.
It's right. And Next Generation and everything else.
Yeah.
So
And Mark Sheppard was in Voyager.
So, okay, very cool. So that was that wasn't expect
I'm just
that
throwing
much.
names out.
Yeah. I still can't play this game because I just can't connect anything here.
All right.
Because
We're really good at this game.
we are really good at this
I'm
game.
noticing that.
I'm failing.
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris.
I'm looking around
everybody.
the room.
All right, here, everybody. This one's for Tanya.
No.
This one's just for Tanya. Ready? Alex Kingston to Mark Sheppard.
Doctor Who.
There you go. Okay, so you can play the game.
Well, I know she's written a song, so come on.
But I just wanted to make you feel like you were actually part of things. That's all. I just wanted you.
It's all a matter
I
of
wanted
time.
you to feel like you were doing well.
Way to shepherd that along.
Oh, see? Oh, wow. Billy, your finger should be on the rim shot button
I'm
like
done
all
today.
times.
I'm done. I'm out.
When-
First he makes fun of me being a teacher. Now I'm out.
Oh, we love you, Tanya, and you know it.
So let's
He's
get Chuck
lucky
Norris.
he's across.
I think you
his
missed
head.
the whole thing when he
Chuck
was the
Norris.
best
Chuck Norris
teacher.
Chuck Norris to Mark Sheppard.
See,
Chuck
I don't
Norris
know
to Mark
much.
Sheppard. This is a thing because Chuck Norris is in Expendables.
I can do it.
Go for it.
Of course you can.
Of course you can, Sherry. This is going to be the Sherry Elbersky
We
Nerd
brought her
Show.
Chuck
Why?
Norris was in Dodgeball.
Oh my God, he was.
Yes,
Right,
he
I forgot
was.
about that.
And Alan Tudyk was in
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball, and they were in Firefly.
In the same scene, even. So you landed
Well,
the
you
bonus
even
points.
did the Expendables too, and Expendables, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right back.
There it is.
Back to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Back to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, a man who's made 33 movies. Elvis Presley.
Oh.
Okay.
Let me think about
Okay,
this.
Sherry.
Okay. It's got to be through Anne Margaret. I think I can do it through
Or
Anne
Mary
Margaret.
Tyler Moore.
Okay, no, wait a minute. Anne Margaret was in Grumpy Old Men.
Oh, Mary Tyler Moore would be very easy.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I mean,
and-
Elvis too, though. He was in Vegas, out there with the Rat Pack. So we get him back to
Okay.
Sinatra and Fred Astaire. And
Well, we're thinking movies now, or
was gonna say we
TV
could do
shows.
that,
But
Let's see, Mary Tyler Moore.
Didn't he star in a World War II movie?
I don't know. They didn't cover that in school.
they didn't cover that.
He
So
was
we don't
actually
know.
in cowboy movies.
scowling at everyone now.
All right, so we'll just stick with Elvis and Anne Margaret. Elvis and Anne Margaret.
okay.
And then Anne Margaret, and I'm going to just throw out Grumpy Old Men.
Okay.
So you-
Okay.
Anne Margaret was in Tommy with Jack Nicholson.
okay.
Yes.
Jack Nicholson has been in everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Few Good Men.
Let's see.
What was it?
To Kevin Bacon.
With Kevin
Kevin
Bacon.
Bacon.
And then
So maybe not 6 Degrees, but we get there anyway.
no, Kevin
Kevin
Bacon
Bacon
to Kiefer Sutherland through Flatliners,
Flatliners,
and then
and then 24.
Kiefer Sutherland to
Mark Sheppard in 24.
24. So we use Kevin Bacon. So bonus points for that. Congratulations. And now I've mentioned the word bacon 3 or 4 times, and I want a sandwich.
I know, right?
I had
Wait.
bacon this morning
I didn't eat it all
on the way
today.
here.
Yeah, but Mary Tyler Moore is easy because she was in a movie with Timothy Hutton,
Oh, yeah. Ordinary People.
Ordinary People.
Oh, and then Timothy Hutton in Leverage.
yes.
Right.
So Mary Tyler Moore
And
is
I was
easy.
going to say Asner, but now I don't need to.
Ed Asner should get people bonus points.
Literally just looking around the room, picking.
Well, I mean,
heads.
that's who I was going to suggest. But
Oh, thank you, buddy. I have some of this awesome pumpkin chocolate chip bread that Sherry made.
See, Ed Asner was in Up. With
Was he the
Oh,
old
where-
curmudgeon
He was
guy?
a dog.
Yes.
yeah.
That's such a
The
good
one, the one
is
that
one of my
smells of
favorite-
prunes.
Hello.
The little mailman and the one that smells of prunes.
Hi
That
there.
is one of my
Happens a girl?
favorite words
I have just
ever.
met you, and I love
Curmudgeon?
you.
Curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon.
Love that word.
Chris can be a curmudgeon at times.
This one too. Both Chris's.
It's in the name.
ain't got nothing on our friend. So
We have a friend named Larry who is just he's in the dictionary.
Okay, another
See Larry.
person regards to Mark Sheppard.
All right. Somebody come up with something obscure. Rob, give me an obscure actor. Not Rob is obscure. I mean, Rob can
Lance
be
Henriksen.
Oh,
Lance
please.
Henriksen?
He's been in.
Well, he's in
been the world.
Millennium. So who was in Millennium with him?
Lance Henriksen was also in Charmed, I thought.
No, you could do that. Lance Henriksen was in Millennium. Charles Nelson Riley was in Millennium. He was also in X-Files. And
There you go.
there you go.
So that works. Okay.
Because he played the same character. Boom. Throwback.
Mark Sheppard was in
Callback, rather.
X-Files?
Boom goes the dynamite.
Yes.
I missed that.
It's one of his first roles. It was like his third.
Oh yeah, I said Bob. He was Bob, the caretaker.
Don't be
impressive,
impressed.
But at the same time, kind of
Sad?
saddening almost.
Pat, this is our life, man. That's
right,
you summed it up in a nutshell right there.
This is how we do.
I'm impressed.
This is how we roll.
Welcome to our world.
Yeah, seriously. We have 56 episodes of this now. So, yeah, this is pretty much just us talking to each other and hoping
throw
people
out
enjoy
a
it.
name, Mr.
Okay.
Best.
So it has to be an actor. It just can't be. Okay.
And then we're coming to you. Yes, Ian, you're next after Mr. Best.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. Ooh.
Incredible Hulk.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Stan Lee. And
Stan
that ties
Lee.
to everything else.
Ties to everything else. So drop down in any of the Marvel movies that has a connection to Mark. Well, I know Mark Sheppard hasn't been in a Marvel movie yet.
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 Yeah. He's the next Tony Stark.
Well, I'm looking here. It says Extinction Predator X. There's a Dr. Charles LeBlanc. What? Dr. Charles Xavier.
Okay.
All right.
That's a stretch.
Let's think.
Come on!
So
I told
Lance
you I
Henriksen.
couldn't play.
You're trying. We appreciate the trying.
For effort.
Well,
Let's
that's
see.
about all I get.
Edward Norton, Fight Club, Rounders.
The Honeymooners.
I got
American
that.
History
Thank you.
X.
Yeah.
The
And then
Illusionist.
Collateral Beauty, and that had Keira Knightley in it.
Okay, we
And
can do
Helen
it through
Mirren.
American History X. Because
All right.
American History X had, what's his name from the second Terminator movie? And then we go through
Edward Furlong.
Patrick
Yeah, no,
Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong.
Was in American History X with Ed Norton, and then we
Edward
go
Furlong was
then we
in
go
Terminator.
through then we go through that whole Arnold Schwarzenegger again.
So we're building on our previous
Not the
links.
chopper.
All right, Ian.
Sorry, had to.
Right into the microphone.
I don't know that many actors, but
Isn't it?
Give me a character,
Yeah,
somebody
it's
who
like
we
he's
can
not
think
the
of.
tumor. Get to the chopper.
all right. I'm gonna throw it out there because it's probably the only.
Sherry will get it, so don't worry about it.
Megan Fox. Let's see what you can do with that.
Who?
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
That's-
Transformers.
Transformers.
So it's back to that whole.
Uh huh. Okay. Let's do it.
We did it earlier, so.
Did we? Oh,
Yeah, didn't we?
No, we did
No,
Terminator.
we did Terminator, not
Terminator.
No,
not
I think we did Transformers before we even
Oh.
started doing anything today.
Okay, Transformers, you could use
Mark Wahlberg. No, I want
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Connect him back to Harrison, I don't know, to Indiana Jones.
Okay, so we're doing that.
Now good. Harrison Ford.
So now we have Harrison Ford.
All right, come on.
See any Star Wars, American Graffiti, Raiders of War.
Fugitive.
Harrison Ford
Fugitive.
gets us to Sigourney Weaver, which gets us to Lance Henriksen, and we've
Yeah,
already
there it
connected
is.
Lance
Yep.
Henriksen.
Thank you.
So
How about pick somebody out on the wall behind you?
pick
That's
somebody
what
on
I've
the
been
wall.
doing.
That's what Dolly's been doing.
Brother
I'm
Weeze.
just looking around.
Dave Coulier.
Dave
Oh,
Coulier.
my God.
Okay, Full House.
John Stamos.
Yep.
What?
Who's in Glee.
John, let's see.
Let's see. With who's in Glee with the girl from that plays Supergirl now?
Oh, Melissa Benoist.
Benoist.
Benoist. I don't know how to
Yeah,
pronounce that last
Benoist.
name.
And he must be somewhere in the CW Arrowverse.
What's that?
He must be somewhere in the CW Arrowverse.
She
Everybody
was
else is.
on. Did a crossover episode with Arrow, Flash, and all them.
Uh-huh.
Arrow goes back to John Barrowman, which brings us back to Supernatural, which brings us to Mark Sheppard.
Or you
Ding,
could have
ding,
gone
ding,
to
ding,
Summer
ding, ding,
Glau,
Or you
killer
could
of
have gone
shows,
the,
back to
also Arthur
Firefly.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, I'm not saying she's a bad actress. She's just
I
cursed.
love her.
Summer Glau?
Summer
Yeah,
Glau. She's the killer
absolutely.
of shows. Not saying she's bad, just saying
Well, the cape
there's an
was
Egyptian
terrible.
She
curse
was
upon her.
freaky in Dollhouse.
I'm just saying.
I'm just proud of myself. I got one.
Yes.
All right. Who else we got on the wall here?
Nellie Olson over there.
Nellie Olson.
Oh,
what was it?
Allison Igram is
Okay.
her real name. She played Nellie Olson.
Uh-huh.
See, Michael Landon was in, Bonanza, Highway to Heaven.
Oh, Bonanza gives us
Lauren Green, Battlestar Galactica.
And then there was somebody and then that gives us Richard Hatch.
Richard Hatch.
Who was in both versions of Battlestar Galactica. Then that gives us Mark Sheppard.
Yes.
Nice.
How about Vincent Price?
Vincent Price. Holy cow.
Go Edward Scissorhands. You can tie to Johnny Depp right there.
There you go. Johnny Depp or Winona Ryder.
Oh, wait. No, Johnny Depp. I can go the long way. Johnny Depp, and he was in the Pirates movies with Keira Knightley.
There you go.
Who was in Collateral Beauty with Edward Norton, and we already tied Edward Norton to him.
Nice.
See, look at us
Nice
go.
one.
Now we're on a roll now. All right, who else we got on?
Boom.
And Tanya's just shaking her head.
She's like, why am I hanging out with
I'm
these
just throwing
people?
names out. Michael
should
Keaton.
just leave at this
Michael
point.
Keaton?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson in Batman.
Yep. And then Jack Nicholson. Did we
got
hook that
down
one
to
up
him.
already?
I think so.
Did we ever figure that one out? I knew the
Did
name
we?
came up.
I thought we did.
I don't think we did Jack
Did
Nicholson.
we figure
yet.
the Jack Nicholson tie? Oh, Few
To
Good
Kiefer
Men.
Sutherland.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Look at that.
So we had the
Boom.
bonus point for Jack
Actually,
Nicholson because of the
added
Kevin
something.
Bacon connection.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You can't handle the. Never mind.
The
Pumpkin bread.
Family
You can't
show.
handle the pumpkin bread.
I think that's the only Tom Cruise movie I actually like.
Top Gun.
See, I think Tom
never-
Cruise is a very
Last
good
Samurai?
actor. That's a
Legend.
As long as he's playing himself.
Legend. Then we get Tom Curry. Tim Curry.
Jim Curry.
Tropic Thunder.
I haven't seen it.
Never
That's the
saw it,
only
yeah.
one I like with Tom Cruise because he's not really Tom Cruise. A lot of makeup, you don't see his actual face.
I like
Tom
him in
Cruise is a podcast in
Magnolia.
and of himself. I think.
I like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise as an actor.
Yeah, I
I
like
like
Tom
when he
Cruise as an actor.
smiles.
I like some of the, I like
Or
most of the
as
stuff
a-
he's done. I just think he needs to stay off of Oprah's couch.
I think he's a
Like I said,
robot.
Last Samurai. Definitely
He's
one of my.
bionic.
Last Samurai was
One
a
of my
really good
favorites.
movie.
He's got
Was Mark
that-
Sheppard in that?
He's got that weird.
I don't believe
No,
so.
but
Okay.
Timothy Spall was in it.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Question for everybody on the panel.
Okay.
Okay, so we know we've all seen
42.
stuff. No.
We already talked about that today.
Seen stuff.
The slow
We know we've all seen Mark Sheppard in stuff.
Yes.
When is the first time you think you were ever aware? Because like there's an act you can see somebody and then you become aware of who they are and then you go back and you realize, oh my God, I saw him in this and this and this, but because you didn't know who they were,
Like Tim Curry.
like Tim Curry. Where's the first place that you can remember really being aware?
Leverage. For
Yes.
me, it was leverage.
All right. For
No.
me, it was Firefly.
Firefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
For me, it's very easy. It's supernatural.
Go ahead, get right
For
in
me,
and
it's easy. It's supernatural because
because of Crowley.
yeah,
All right, and then you realize you start seeing Crowley everywhere.
yeah.
All right. So I think
Yeah, we
for me,
started seeing badgers everywhere.
yeah.
Badgers everywhere.
Badger,
I don't need no stinking badgers.
Yeah, so now I definitely want to
balls,
go
roll
back
'em.
and watch some other things.
Well, yeah, I got introduced to him in Supernatural, of course, and then I saw him on Doctor Who, and I'm like, wait, he's in other stuff? And then it's like he started popping
He
up
must be a
everywhere.
popular actor. He's in a lot of other things.
Then it's like everywhere I looked, I'm like, there's Crowley again. He's stalking me.
Yes, but
He's
for us it was
following me.
Badger because I watched Firefly long before I watched Supernatural.
I'm only 14. I learned.
You're only 14. You haven't learned that you have to talk into the microphone because it doesn't pick up your voice if you're standing over there. Do you not have anything else to say? All right, you're fired.
Grounded.
You're great.
You know,
Go clean your room.
do you have any idea how many times we've fired Monk? That's it. You're not the baby anymore.
I'm the baby.
Oh, she
And she didn't like that much.
didn't like that much?
No.
All right. That's okay. I love
Did
you
the
anyway,
truth
Ian.
It was at least once a week I fire.
Yeah.
Sometimes once a day.
That my interns have suffered that fate on several occasions has been well documented on podcasts previous. So.
Fortunately, my intern doesn't show up very often, so she can't get fired.
Who's your intern again?
I think it's Becca.
I think it's Becca.
I think you're not
Okay.
quite sure.
I don't know. I usually don't have anyone around me. We fired Tony so many times, and he was Chris's intern.
Yeah.
And then
Maybe
he got
she's
promoted.
your imaginary friend.
Huh?
Maybe
she
she's
really
your imaginary
exist?
friend.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't have very many of them, so I'm
All right.
usually stuck in the back part of the convention.
Let's play it a little bit more. Let's play it a
Okay,
little bit more.
Austin St. John.
Austin St. John. Austin St. John.
I'm going to challenge Sherry.
Oh, I got it.
Austin St.
Okay.
I got it.
He got it.
I get,
Okay, I need help because
Are you in the same place?
I know
am?
Red Power Ranger.
I know you're
Brian
gonna
Cranston.
like absolutely.
Brian
I'm not
Cranston.
gonna be your friend anymore. I didn't watch Power Rangers.
Did you went where?
Doesn't matter. You still have to connect
I don't know who was in it.
I can't play this game. So
Here we go. Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger, who
Yes.
was at FC3 2017, was in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And one of the character actors who has since become a big name actor, but one of the character actors who played one of the aliens was Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle,
Yep.
Breaking Bad, and everything else. So take Bryan Cranston now. And where do we go from there? We can work it from there because he's been in a ton of stuff at this point.
Let's see. He was in that Godzilla movie.
He was in the Godzilla movie. Who had?
he was in Breaking Bad.
Oh God, there's so many people in Godzilla with.
Let's see. Elizabeth Olsen. Aaron
Ken
Taylor.
Watanabe.
Let's see. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Bryan Cranston, Elizabeth Olsen,
I love
Sally
Ken
Hawkins.
He's good. He's a good actor.
Ken Watanabe.
No, I'm not.
So we were still working on it now. Did everybody fall silent?
Brian.
No, I'm chasing a different route for a second.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I was wrong.
Bryan Cranston was in. Shoot, he's had a Breaking Bad. Had lots of people in it.
Better Call Saul.
Archer, yeah.
Oh, he was in the X-Files.
Who was?
Bryan Cranston.
There we go. Now we have our X-Files link up.
And then we can go from there.
Right.
I think he
David
was in
Duchovny,
VIP,
yeah.
and I think Mark Sheppard was in VIP.
Does it say?
Well, he was in the X-Files, so
Yeah, that too, but
That's it.
still.
X-Files is it.
Bingo. So yeah, we can get Austin St. John to Mark Sheppard.
You want to know? Yeah, give me.
2 steps.
We'll stop rolling away.
All right, you ready for this?
Yes.
Can you Mark Sheppard to Mark Sheppard? Go ahead.
Huh?
Mark Sheppard to Mark Sheppard. Go.
Okay.
Everything.
Mark Sheppard was in Firefly with Mark Sheppard. All right, so we can go with that.
All right.
How's that
Some
sound?
leverage with Mark Sheppard.
He was in Leverage, so we can go Mark Sheppard from Firefly to Leverage
to Supernatural.
to Supernatural
All right, good start.
to
X-Files.
Battlestar Galactica
All right, good start.
to X-Files
Okay.
to
Doctor Who.
Silk Stockings
Stockings.
to Megalodon and back to Doctor Who.
And we can throw
So
in
that-
Medium and
That's a-
Bionic Woman and Murder,
How about
She Wrote.
Shaq?
That's from the mind of a 14-year-old. Did you see that one coming?
Well, Shaq was in.
What movie was that?
Was it Blue
Shazam.
Chips?
Shaq
Chips with Nick Nolte.
Blue
Shaq
Chips
was
with
in-
Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
was in Steel.
And, oh God.
Still, he was in Steel. Doesn't matter how God
no,
you are.
but you're right.
You know?
I can't remember who else was in Steel though.
Yeah, who was the villain in that one?
But I just know we can tie him to Nick Nolte.
It was ridiculous.
Let's see.
Oh my God! Now I'm killing
Are
myself
we looking up Nick Nolte?
No, the movie Steel
with
villain.
Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal. I just can't remember who played the villain. It was
I don't
over the
remember
top
how
and
the movie
stupid.
went. I just know
I am
Shaq was in
staying
the
out of
weird
this
outfit.
one.
No, I'm going into it. That's my job.
I'm Shaq.
You want to steal?
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep
I think
going.
it was
There it
late-
is.
yeah.
John Henry Irons. Scroll down.
Let's see.
Judd Nelson.
Oh,
Judd Nelson
there you
played
go.
the villain in that one.
Oh, that's a thing.
Rat Pack extraordinaire.
Yeah. So Shaq could actually get us Judd Nelson.
Yeah.
Judd Nelson takes us into the Brat Pack,
Yep. So there's
which can link up to Kevin Bacon somewhere along the line.
Emilio Estevez.
Yes.
Emilio Estevez.
Haley Sheedy.
Let's see. Molly
Anthony Michael Hall,
Ringwald.
the Kids in the Hall.
Let's see.
Actually, Anthony Michael Hall
Uh-huh.
to Warehouse 13.
13.
Oh,
Warehouse
yes.
13.
Right.
Nicely done.
Yep.
Yay, we did it.
Bravo.
I remember when Anthony Michael Hall disappeared for like 10, 15 years, and then he came back, and
he was buff.
he was buff and no longer scrawny, and his voice was down here. I'm like, what the hell? Who
He
is
showed
that?
up in Edward Scissorhands as the bully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's amazing.
He was the Gaston character.
Oh, I see. That's right. That's right.
Well, you could connect Judd Nelson to Mark Sheppard right into CSI New York.
I did not know
They
that.
were both in.
Which has
in
Gary
CSI.
Sinise in it, and Gary Sinise can be connected to like a ton of different
Tom
things.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Just right
and
from
Tom
there.
Hanks gets you into World War II. We're saving Private Ryan.
Band of Brothers. We did it. We successfully tied Mark Sheppard
Ian
to
does
World
not
War
realize
II.
that we're going to pull up
And,
World War
and,
II
and Ian has
all
left
day
the
long.
building.
Ian has left the building.
That was exceptionally easy.
That's the trick
I mean, there
to
was
get him
like
to walk
no
out of a
real
room.
work.
Yeah, just start talking
That's
about World War
I
II.
should have done that all last year.
Yeah, seriously, you've been talking about World War II from the beginning of the school year.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Now we can leak what really happened in World War II. He's lost the room.
Spoilers. Oh, my stars.
So quick fire off your
So where are
your
we
lesson
at,
plans.
Billy?
Yeah.
are
All right,
we?
guys. Let's go to
45
the
minutes,
nitty-gritty.
which includes over 7 minutes of talking about Mark Sheppard.
What's our total time again?
45 minutes.
45. That's
And we've only talked about Mark Sheppard about 7
7.
minutes.
Hey, you know, I think we did pretty good. We did pretty good. So there's an exercise in silliness,
He
but
would
it
be
was fun.
honored for what we have done today.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of
Here
honor.
comes Sherry. One more point to make before we start
Not
wrapping up.
last year
Uh-huh.
for Gishwis,
Uh-huh.
but the year before,
Okay.
our teammate,
And Gishwas, by the way, is the greatest scavenger hunt,
greatest international scavenger hunt the world has ever seen.
which was put on by Misha Collins, who played Castiel in Supernatural. All right, so now we have that little
Okay.
backstory. Go ahead.
So, our lovely teammate, it was Wendy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That did the picture.
Was it Wendy or was it Julie?
One of our teammates 2 years ago, it was
Mm-hmm.
either Wendy or Julie, did a picture of Mark Sheppard,
Mm-hmm.
which he liked on Twitter.
Victory is achieved. Victory is ours. Very nice.
So who's,
So we need
who's
Twitter.
tweeting this drop to him so he can
Oh, yeah,
enjoy
we're going
this?
to tweet this one to him directly.
So you can actually do 2 degrees from this show to Mark Sheppard.
Nice. That's it. From Monkey Business to Mark Sheppard in 2 steps.
Through Gishwis.
Through
Through
Misha
Gish.
Collins' Gish.
That's phenomenal. That's exciting. So we're going to leave on that particular.
I don't think we
We're
can
gonna
top
quit.
that.
We're going to quit
No.
while the quitting's good at this point. While the getting's
And
good.
that's how World War II ended.
And that's Ian was walking in and then turned around and walked out. Oh, the lights are off and nobody's home. So for the gang, this has been me, and this is Monkey Business, a product of the Mighty Monkey Corporation, purveyors and producers of the Flower City Comic-Con. Coming at you like a spider monkey, June 9th and 10th, 2018 at the Rochester Riverside
You don't like
Convention
spider
Center.
monkeys.
I like spider monkeys. They're
Oh,
cute.
you don't
I don't
like
like spiders. Follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, love us on Facebook, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, Danny.